Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be bringing back my good friend Juliana Donald, who you may remember played Jenny in The Muppets Take Manhattan, and today we're going to do an experimental episode where I make her laugh, I tell her jokes. It's an idea that I had last week, and we're going to go through with it today. And it should be pretty interesting. I don't know what the outcome of it is going to be, but we will surely find out. We will see. We will test the waters. We will see if humor will persevere. And I'm pretty excited about this. It's going to be pretty interesting, like I said. The key word for this show is interesting. So, yeah. Here is my new interview with Juliana Donald. Hi, Juliana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. Just kind of a crazy day. Everything kind of piled up at once. So, I have a bit of a cold, but other than that, everything's A-okay.
Nice.
How's everything going with your comedy?
Well, I haven't been that active going on stage, but just I've been doing this podcast. I can't believe it. When I first talked to you a year ago, you were guest number 25. Now you're 305.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, I started out the year with 44 guests, and I can't believe I've gotten to 305 in just 11 months. That is just so
great.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
And are you getting, I don't know how podcasts work, but do you get sponsors, or how does that work?
It depends on who the person is, yes, but because I'm just independent and I don't have a huge following, it's just me. I'm a lone wolf, basically. Yeah.
Well, you never know. It's like, you could do a podcast and boom, everything could change.
It sure could. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. When I first started, I already had 10 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and now I got 80. And
oh, that's good. I didn't know you have a YouTube channel. Do I know that? I don't know if I'm subscribed.
I don't think you've subscribed, though, but I do have one.
Oh, okay. So it's just under your name. Okay, I'll subscribe. I'll do that today at the end of my crazy day.
Yeah.
That's great. So, yeah, because the more subscriptions you get, then I think that's how people find out about you, too.
Mm-hmm.
Advertisers and stuff.
Yeah. And I just can't believe how phenomenal it is. I'm still pinching myself.
That's good. That's all positive. Very positive to hear.
Yeah. I was reading on your IMDb earlier this year. You were on an episode of How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah, I did. I basically, one of my friends, she had an agent. I mean, I really haven't been acting, but she got some agent, and she said, I've been kind of trying to hold on to my health insurance, but it's been really hard. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to go out on a couple of auditions. Her agent sent me on, her agent quit after being an agent for, I guess, a couple of years. I don't know how long she was, because she was kind of shocked that she couldn't make any money. Mm-hmm. So, because the money now in acting is, unless you're a big star, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And because they've figured out ways to do new media and all this other stuff. And, for example, one of my close friends got a job for 2 days on a new media project, and she gets paid $125 a day before the 10% of the agent. So she's taking home like $50 a day to do acting that, she had auditions, callbacks, everything else for. Mm-hmm. So they've figured out all these ways not to pay. But anyway, I didn't know that. So I went back. I had to say, just send me on a few auditions, and I got the How to Get Away with Murder. And also I just did, like 2 weeks ago, I got a part in a Hilary Swank movie.
Nice.
scene with Hilary Swank.
Nice.
Which was good, and I think it will stay in the movie because it's kind of an important scene. She comes to see her kid at a piano lesson. I'm the piano teacher, and we have like an exchange, and so that was good. But the way they pay now, you got to get so many of these jobs to get insurance. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I did do How to Get Away with Murder. The actress, and I worked with Jimmy Smith and Viola Davis, and they were both fantastic.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. Yeah. It's funny. I always wanted to be on a series. I thought about this the other day. I always wanted to be on a series called How I Got Laid and How I Got Away with It.
Yeah, that would be an interesting. That would be an interesting name for a series. I bet you get a lot of people want to watch it.
Yeah, sounds like a Netflix series.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, so I'm kind of sort of doing a little bit of acting, but not really, but a little.
That's good, though. I'm glad. But,
yeah, it's... Anyway, so are you still up north?
Yeah. And
how are you thinking of coming to LA or no?
Yeah, I'm still doing it. It's just, money, and plus, oh my God, the scariness of this weekend happened over there.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's kind of scary over here now. I mean, I don't know. It's just, yeah, everything's kind of crazy. I actually have a friend that she just went through a divorce, and the husband was very wealthy, and what she got for her settlement was a house in Malibu. I don't think that house is around anymore.
God.
And that's like, that, like, she doesn't, it's, hard to be like, oh, I feel sorry for somebody that has a house in Malibu, but if that's all you have, and she never had a job or anything else, never worked, kind of, terrible. So.
Do you know if any of the fire has been detained yet?
They're having a lot of problems reining it in because it's just so out of. They said it was going like 70 football fields a minute or something crazy. But yeah, I mean it's getting reined in, but so many people's homes have been completely destroyed. Adam Fick, he's a singer. His home was destroyed. Gerald Butler was on the TV saying this is what I came home to, and it was just like, a home burnt to the ground. Caitlyn Jenner's home burnt to the ground. So, I mean, there's a lot of celebrities, and I'm sure these people have, I'm sure these people have insurance policies, but still, you think like, gee, you have fire, and what do you take? And all these people were like saying, we just grabbed our pictures, or we just grabbed, because it's like, you just have to grab what's the most important thing that you can replace and get out of there. You can replace a TV and you can replace a bed and all that stuff, but still,
Yeah, I always wanted a beach house in Malibu. Do you know if it attacked the beaches there?
Apparently the fire did jump the 101, and it went towards the water. So I don't know. The last I saw on TV, they had like all these people had taken horses and put them at the beach, on the beach, tied up to lifeguard stands. But they were like worried the horses weren't going to be okay because the fire was going into the beaches. So I have no idea what's going on. I mean, it's kind of, I'm afraid to turn on the TV and, after those poor people in Thousand Oaks had to deal with that massacre the other day, then, days later, they're having to evacuate because of the fires, and all these people were on the news going, like, this is not happening. Like, you've got to be kidding that, first everybody's murdered, and now our houses are burning to the ground.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's sad. It's scary. I hope at least it wasn't an intentional arson. It was at least some guy putting his cigarette out or something.
I don't think it's arson. I mean, there's Santa Ana winds right now, and so the Santa Ana winds, they come at this time, and I think that, I don't know if it's global warming. I don't know how this happens, but, they just start, and it's like an explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's destroying all these places in a place as wealthy as Malibu,
mm-hmm.
I don't think it's arson. And I think, it doesn't help that the president's saying that, this is poor forest management in California,
mm-hmm.
when all these people are losing everything and that their animals are dying and everything else, so,
mm-hmm.
and 25 people have died. I mean, that doesn't help things, but I don't think it has anything to do with poor forest management.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something. Wildfires are something that happens in California. One of the main reasons we never get rain.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is so dry. So when a fire starts, it's like an explosion. It's like everything is dry. So it's prime for being destroyed.
Mm-hmm. I just
blowing
hope.
Up, whatever. So
yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah, I hope to God that everything will work out. I just feel bad for all those people, and that's all we can do is pray and hope.
I know, me too. I feel really bad for them too. Just super sad.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know. There's a lot of celebrities, and they're apparently like one of my friends that lives near there said that just the animal shelters were just shoving animals in the back of people's cars that animal lovers would drive by there, and they would just like be shoving dogs, whatever
mm-hmm.
in the backs of these cars, and cars were driving down the PCH with like dogs, cats, goats, whatever, pigs, whatever in their car.
Mm-hmm.
To get away from there. So it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably not missing a lot, not being here at the moment.
Yeah. For right now. But in the future, I will be there. And
right.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there in the spring for the horror convention and stuff. But I definitely, next year, it will be the main focus. And I may go back to the Bay Area for a little bit once the new year hits, because it's just too boring over here. And plus, my brother needs to be out of his apartment by end of January, so me and my mom may get a place with him over there or something. That's
nice.
We haven't decided yet. Yeah. So.
Where does he live?
He lives in the Bay Area in Fremont.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there.
It's expensive there, though, right?
It's just as expensive there as anywhere in California.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Los Angeles is super expensive, but it's I guess there's pockets here where you can get semi-reasonable places, but overall it's expensive.
Yes. But we'll figure that out, though. But, yeah, I got all these great jokes here, and I was curious. So how offended do you get?
I don't get offended. You can try them out on me.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't. It's impossible to offend me, and I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. But yeah, let's just pretend we're like two besties having a slumber party.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Are these jokes for your stand-up that you're trying out?
No, these are street jokes that I tell. I don't like to tell my stand-up jokes on here because I don't want anyone to steal them. And plus,
okay.
Plus, they're I think, far more offensive than these jokes.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm ready.
Okay. How do you make an orange laugh?
I don't know.
Tickle its navel. That's kind of a lame one.
Good. No, that's good. It's cute. It's funny.
Yeah. What's the difference between a golf ball and a G-spot?
What?
A man will spend 20 minutes looking for a golf ball.
Okay, that's hilarious.
What's brown, stinky, and it floats in water?
What?
A cigar. I just made that up. How can you tell if an auto mechanic just got laid?
I give up.
One of his fingers is clean. That one goes over a little bit of people's heads sometimes.
It's funny though. It's funny.
Thank you.
It's a little bit. You gotta like. It's like you gotta make a visual to. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Now I get it.
Yeah, it's a visual kind of a joke. But since we're talking on the phone, I don't know how to do it visually.
Yeah.
What's the Jewish definition of a threesome?
What?
2 headaches and a hard-on.
That's funny.
Have you heard about the new Jewish BMW?
No.
It stops at a dime and picks it up. There's a couple blonde jokes.
Funny.
What did the blonde say after she gave a blowjob?
What?
Way to go, team. Yeah. Why do blondes write TGIF on their shoes?
Why?
Toes go in first.
Toes going first. Okay, I don't get that one.
They have to be reminded that the toes go in first.
Okay. Now I get it. Very funny.
Why do men marry virgins?
Why?
Because they can't stand criticism.
That's funny.
What happens to your asshole when you have an orgasm?
What?
He's out drinking with the boys.
That's funny.
There's a couple. There's some long forms. A bear and a rabbit are taking a shit in the woods. The bear says to the rabbit, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" The rabbit says no. So the bear wiped his ass with the rabbit.
That's funny.
This one has been very popular for the last month. I've been telling people, and they just love it. Cinderella is about to go to the ball, and she's on her period, and the fairy godmother gives her some magic tampons and says, "You have to be home by midnight, or else they'll turn into a pumpkin." And Cinderella's like, "Okay, fairy godmother." And so 12:30 rolls around, hasn't heard from her, nothing. She hasn't shown up. And fairy godmother's pacing around the house angry. And then Cinderella shows up drunk, stumbling, and fairy godmother's like, "Where were you? You were supposed to be home at midnight." And Cinderella's like, "I'm sorry, fairy godmother. I met this great guy. We danced all night long. His name was Peter Peter."
That's funny, but people have to know about Peter Pumpkin Eater, but that's funny.
I've been very lucky.
Very funny.
I've been lucky. Everybody I've told that to gets it.
Yeah, it's very funny. Very funny.
Yeah. Now, this one does not reflect any personal belief. It's just for shock value.
Okay.
2 pedophiles are sitting on a park bench, and this 12-year-old girl walks by, And the first pedophile says, "Hey, will you look at that one?" And the second pedophile says, "Yeah, she must have been something in her day."
Oh my God.
That's
Funny too.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one you might like. What do you get with 2 green balls in your hand?
What?
Kermit's undivided attention.
Very funny. Very funny.
Which reminds.
Did you just write these yourself?
No, these have been street jokes that I've heard since high school. Which reminds me, Juliana, really did Kermit ever invite you back to his trailer for morning after pills?
No, fortunately not. He didn't. He didn't really fully cheat on Miss Piggy, so I didn't ever see that side of him. So that's hilarious. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, how did your audition go?
It was okay, except it actually didn't go great because it was for an episode of Criminal Minds, which would have been great. It was the last audition that the agent that was my agent for 6 months that I got those couple jobs, that How to Get Away with Murder and the Hillary Swank movie. She sent me on it, but the thing is I had a super bad cold. So that was the day. I don't know if you know this, but I'm sure you will understand. Mm-hmm. That was the day that my cold was like the worst, and I was just, you know how when you have your first day of your cold and you're just like draining water out of your head?
Oh, yeah.
And so, I am not holding out any hope for getting that job. Usually also you hear right away, and I didn't. But I know a guy on the show, Joey Mantegna. Mm-hmm. I was hoping that, I might have a chance, but I was so sick, and they put you on tape. Now that's how they're doing auditions. They put people on tape and then choose from that who to pick. So a lot of times it's bad, too, because if the casting director does not pass you on to the director, they don't even know you exist. They don't even see your audition. So it's kind of this terrible thing now where the casting director pretty much stands in the way of or decides who they want to get, who they want to, be the person to get hired for a job.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I was thinking about this recently. If Hollywood's going to do a stance against sexual harassment, they also need to do a stance. They also need to do a stance against how the business is in general, because it's just too fucked up now.
It's really fucked up. I mean, it's really, really fucked up. It's like now they're doing these when casting directors don't want to spend money. I mean, when directors or whatever don't want to spend money, they say, "Oh, we just want to see self-tapes," which means that you have to either go to one of these places where they make the self-tapes and they're like, just making money off of actors, where they're charging, I don't know, they will charge like $25, but they'll charge per minute, but it's like $25 for 25 minutes. And God forbid if you go over that, then you have to pay $50. And then, it goes to the casting person, and honestly, you don't know if the director is even seeing it. And the reason I know this is because I auditioned for some show called Scorpion, and my friend knew the producer, and I called and said, "Oh, I went in for your friend's show today." And he said, "Oh, I'm going to call my friend and tell him, watch out for you." And the friend called back and said, "We didn't even see her audition." So the casting director just picked 3 people she liked, sent those audition tapes in, and everybody else didn't even get a chance, yet they were wasting all these people's time, including myself, to have to work on, pages of material and drive there and, kind of make your schedule so you could do it. And then you don't even really get a chance because the casting director is deciding before who they're going to show to the director.
Yeah, that just needs to stop.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen when I was acting before. That didn't happen. Before they would, bring people in, before it was more of a level playing field. Like you would go to an audition, everybody would be standing in a room, and it would be one after the next going in. And a lot of times, people that, you don't know someone's chemistry with the director, or
right.
what a director sees. So a lot of times, maybe a casting director wouldn't necessarily think this would be my first choice, but that's the person who gets the job is really, who the director sees. And so you have more of it's more even. I mean, now it's just like, it's really screwed up. And if you have a casting director that might not like red, and
right.
you wear red, then you're not going to be sent. The director is never going to see your tape. And I've heard casting people on these websites where you can go on these websites and see like what casting people say about self-tape, because that's now the big thing is self-tape,
right.
putting yourself on tape. And you'll see casting directors that will be so callous that they'll say, well, if the person submits the self-tape and they don't put the name of the character they're auditioning for, they don't put, Juliana Donald part of Mary, they just put Juliana Donald, or it says, tape 321, and they don't put the thing, then we trash them. Or we look at them. Or if, we don't like loud sweaters. If the person comes in wearing a loud sweater, we trash them.
Yeah.
And it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. So, because they're not even getting the chance, and so they're wasting these people's time. And, I found it out firsthand that my audition wasn't even sent to the producers just because I had a friend that knew one of the producers.
Mm-hmm.
That, the casting director had thrown my tape out before directing the tapes to the producer. So, and basically, almost so many jobs I've got, like even the Muppets Take Manhattan, I was one of the last people that was in on that. Other jobs, I did this movie called Brain Donors.
Oh, yeah.
I auditioned for it. I'm a dancer. And the casting director said, you're completely wrong for this, and I'm not bringing you back. And I thought, okay, I'm not wrong for this. I'm a dancer. I really should be seen for this. And I called my agent and said, I went into this casting director. They were very negative. They wouldn't bring me back to the producer. They were very nasty to me. So, but if there's any chance that I can get back in, let me know. Well, 6 months later or 5 months later, I suddenly get an audition for it. And it's that casting director has been fired, and they have a new casting director. This new casting director said, yeah, I'm going to bring you into the director. And this was a Zucker Brothers film. It was a big deal. And I ended up getting hired. So one casting director told me to my face, you're completely wrong for this part. Yet I got it. So what does that tell you about what they know?
Yeah.
And that's the scary part about the business now, is it, you're not necessarily getting seen. People are not necessarily getting seen by the people who are making the decision, because these other people getting in the way because of the ease of erasing people, deleting people on these self-tapes that they get sent hundreds of, that they sit with their finger on the fast forward, and if they like how someone looks, they might stop.
Yeah. Oh my God, I listen to podcasts with actors talking, and I'm talking about, journeyman actors like yourself. And the thing that pisses them off the most, more than anything, besides what you just described, because the business pays so little now, they have very little gas money to drive, in LA traffic to go to these auditions. And when they go and find out someone else got the part, or somebody, or like 10 other guys who look like you are auditioning or something, yeah, they hate that. That's the worst part. That they hate.
What do you mean? That they don't have an opportunity, or?
Yeah, that they don't have an opportunity, and they don't have enough gas money to go through that bullshit.
Yeah, but it's not just now. It's not gas money. Now it's like you have to go to these places where you can self-tape yourself. You can take up iPhone and you can, or whatever phone you have, and you can tape yourself and you can submit yourself that way. But the people that you talk to that get jobs, they go to these professional places that are now erected up all over the place, all over LA. There's now these professional casting houses, or taping houses, where you go in and you pay somebody who's a camera operator, whatever, $25, $50, $100, and they put you on they videotape your audition, and then they give it to you and you send it into casting. The problem is, why should you have to pay $50 on average to do this? But if you do it at home on your iPhone, it's going to look amateur.
Yeah.
If you go to one of these places, it's going to look professional. So the people that go to these places probably, I'm not sure, but they probably have a higher rate of getting hired than the people that are doing it on their iPhones, meaning that in order to even get a job, you have to be willing to spend thousands on putting yourself on tape at these places, and it's just awful. Whereas before, you didn't have to do that. You went in for auditions. I think it's better when you go in for an audition than when you're putting yourself on these, homemade tapes. And because I think that's much worse, because the casting people can because they can watch them with their button on the finger on the fast forward button and just stop if they like how somebody looks.
Yeah.
So the business has become as random as it used to be. It's become even more random, where it just depends on. I talked to some guy that told me, I get jobs all the time on self-tapes. Well, his best friend owns one of those self-tape places, and he can go in there and spend 2 hours doing the tape so it's perfect, and then sending it in. Other people don't have that, option. 2 hours can cost them $200.
Yeah, the guys who have it easy, they're the ones who brag the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
And I don't know. I have a friend that's very wealthy, and she's going on these auditions, and she goes to all these places to put herself on tape and everything, and she says she spends about $1,200 a month. Doesn't get jobs, spends $1,200 a month on auditions. So it's become a business really about, it's an odd thing in Los Angeles. There's an entire huge multi-million-dollar businesses based on taking advantage of actors. So there's people in Los Angeles that make a lot of money from headshots. They make a lot of money from these self-tapes. They make a lot of money from teaching acting classes or audition classes or whatever. And they're making all their money off of people that don't have the money to pay them, and that's kind of tragic.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just disgusting, and I hope somebody stands up and says, hey, wait a minute, because that's just disgraceful. It's degradation.
It is. It's really It's really horrible. The two jobs I got, the How to Get Away with Murder and the Hillary Swank movie, both of those jobs, I went to a casting office and they put me on tape. Meaning that when they sent that tape in, everybody was the same. Everybody had the same background. You know what I mean? And the same. Everybody looked like the same on the tape. It was just different people. But when you're sending tapes in, and you have some people that are like going to these places and they have to do a lawyer or something, and they're putting themselves being taped in a legal office and this whole thing next to somebody being taped by their friend in their apartment, that person that with the fancy tape is going to look better, even if they're not, than the person that's sitting against the white wall with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, the playing field's not really level. Whereas at least if you go in and they put you on tape, you're kind of in the similar boat as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, it's just ridiculous. And yeah, I wonder if it's like that anywhere else, where there's film acting, like New York or something.
I'm sure they have, because now self-tapes become the thing, and there's one woman, her name's Amy Berman. She makes me so mad because she has a,
I know her. Yeah.
Do you know her? Do you talk? I mean, she seems like a perfectly nice woman. I don't know her, but one of my friends got talked into paying $60 to do some acting class of hers online.
Yeah.
And where she does all this advertising, and it's like, I'm going to show you how to get a job, and all these people listen to my advice and they get jobs. And one of my friends bought the, paid her $60. She gave me this pass so I could watch it, and it was, okay, fine. It was like, be very nice. It's no new information, just like, make sure that you put your person on the side of the camera when you're looking and not to the side. I mean, basic. $60, and then I get like 50 emails a day from this woman saying, like, now you have to do this other class if you really want to get a job. And I'm so experienced. And her entire business is set up on taking money from insecure actors that think that maybe they need one more secret to get that job.
Yeah.
And she's not going to give you the secret till you give her another $60. And but when you give her the $60, like my friend did, it's not really a secret.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like really bad. But she's got she probably makes, a couple $100,000 a year, I would assume, at the very least, from all these people paying $60.
Yeah, I took one of her free classes a couple of years ago online, and I saw right through her, and so I decided not to do any more after that. But
if you want, I can give you my friend. My friend wouldn't care. I can give you her password, and you can go watch the thing that she charges $60 for. I can text you all the information, but you'll be super shocked because it's not anything more than, it's like nothing. And yet my friend got talked into the $60 because my friend, fell for the whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's this agent in Hollywood. Won't say her name. I'm sure you know who she is. She does a series of YouTube videos where she teaches actors how to get into the business, right? And all that. And she's even got like a book and like, classes like Amy does and what have you, right? But I reached out to her for an interview because I liked her personality, and she swore a lot during the interviews, and I thought her and I would get along great, right? So I interviewed her. It went great, And then after I posted it, the audio didn't turn out good on her end, and that happens sometimes on the podcast. And she like messaged me all this rude stuff, telling me like, I can't post that. I'm embarrassed. You need to do this. You need to do that if you want to be successful, right? And I struck back at her saying, you have to remember, I'm not one of your clients, so don't fucking talk to me like that, you know. And then she got all apologetic and everything, you know, but I haven't talked to her since. But then I got messages from a lot of people saying, why the fuck did you interview her? She's got a reputation for fucking everybody over in Hollywood. She is dirty, you know.
I know, I'm just telling you, like, that makes me crazy when I see that, like, Amy Berman, and I literally get probably maybe between 5 and 10 emails a day telling me that I don't know the reason I'm not working is I don't know the secret, and that she's going to give the secret, and, you know, and every day it's a new thing, and the secret is absurd. And yet there are so many actors that are trying to get jobs, and a lot of times when I say random, it is random. A lot of times, like, I think, for example, one of the reasons I got cast in How to Get Away with Murder is when I went to the audition, there was, you know, a room full of actresses auditioning, all different types. You know, there was white women, Asian women, black women, whatever. And I thought, okay, you know what, maybe I got this, because I didn't think my audition was particularly fabulous. And then I thought, you know, they probably said, well, we can't hire somebody black because Viola is black, and we can't hire somebody Hispanic because Jimmy is Hispanic, and maybe Asian's going to seem like we got too much mix going on. Let's go with a white woman. Yeah. And I really believe that that's one of the reasons that I got hired. And so because of the randomness of it, these things of we're going to give you the magic recipe for the magic sauce is kind of like taunting somebody like a Vegas gambler. Look, I'm going to tell you how to do this so you can win $1 million. And it doesn't work that way in this business. Yes, you have to be prepared, but a lot of prepared, brilliant actors don't get work. Right. And a lot of lousy actors do. And a lot of it has to do with that randomness. Like, you know, that just happens in this business, which unfortunately is one of the reasons why there's so many people that say, oh, I want to be an actor, because if that guy could be an actor, I could be an actor.
Right.
And, you know, so that's one of the reasons that happens. But it's, you know, so that makes me crazy when I see somebody like Amy Berman, because she's playing on it, and every single email I get from her is basically like, it's like something psychological, like about how if I get this secret, I will get all these jobs. And without this secret, I won't get any jobs. And it makes me angry because, you know, I did watch one of her $60 classes, and there was no secrets in there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I myself, I mean, I'm on the right path because, you know, not only do I do this podcast, I go to conventions and film festivals. I mingle with the celebrities and, you know, the directors and what have you and stuff. And, you know, I'm on the right path. I don't know what's going to come of it, you know. But I've also interviewed guests who are making films and they're doing crowdfunding, and they're like, you know, offering, you know, background roles to, like, you know, anybody who contributes and stuff, you know.
Right,
you got to do stuff like that, you know, if you want to act and get in, you know. I mean, there's really no right or wrong way of doing it, you know, but I'm lucky, and this is the path that I'm on, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's just, you know, you have to be careful. So it's good. The good news is you could tell that woman was, you know, you could see through that woman, and Amy Berman. But, you know, my friend couldn't, and she's a smart lady, you know, and of course after she paid the one-time $60, she could see through her immediately. But the woman that, you know, she still got $60 out of her.
Yeah.
Because once you pay that $60, you can't get your you can't, you know, it's not like if you don't like this thing, you get your $60 back. You don't get your $60 back.
Yeah.
You know, so so it's kind of a perfect scam in a way. scam people, because that's one thing that, if you buy a shirt and you don't get your shirt, the credit card companies will side with you if you say, hey, I didn't get my shirt. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't say anything about, hey, I didn't get a decent class, because you still got the class, and that's what they'll say. Well, you got the class, so, they have a right to the money.
Yeah.
So it's just, but I'm sure there's thousands of people like that. I just happen to know about the Amy Berman because one of my good friends did the class, and, Amy Berman says, one of her things is, you have to be on social media, and that's how you'll get jobs. But what is that for advice?
Yeah. I know, and now they're even doing social media classes, to learn how to promote yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
you can. My niece she works for a party staffing company,
mm-hmm.
and they do get a lot of, she does get clients from the social media posts, but it's a party company. It's a company about, they staff models for parties, and these, waitresses and waiters and stuff. So that's kind of a type of it's luxury, it's very expensive. That's kind of something that the social media would be important, because you post like the models at the Dolce & Gabbana party, or the models at the Tiffany's party, or the models. So people see that, and that helps them. But I don't know how it helps an actor that you have a social media that you went to Malibu and, watch the fires. I don't know.
Yeah.
C'est
la vie.
Yeah, but it is, I don't know. I don't mean to be negative, because
it's okay.
People have to follow their dream, and they have to do it. But it just, that's my one pet peeve about the business, is people trying to make money off of the people that don't have the money. The people that have the money, the actors, they know not to go to these people. So these people are preying on the people that don't have money. And that's why it's a pet peeve of mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you're on the right path, and you will get more work. I know you will.
Yeah, I'm fine, whatever happens, it's trying to get my insurance, so if I can get more jobs, I'll be very happy. And, so that's kind of where I'm at. But
mm-hmm. Well, before you go to your piano lesson, I got this funny story for you. I don't know if it's funny. I told it to a friend of mine who was drunk, and she laughed, but I want to see if it actually is funny. So on Halloween night, I was at home eating candy, watching a horror movie just by myself, and then this one neighbor of mine, her and I have been flirting for quite a long time. She rang my doorbell, and she came in, and we hung out, and we slept together. And the next morning, I'm in bed just having a peaceful sleep, and I wake up to her giving me a blowjob. And after she was done, she went to the bathroom with her cell phone, and I decided to text her. And she's on the toilet. Next thing you know, she gets this text message from me, opens it up, and it says, #MeToo. And she fell off the toilet laughing her ass off.
That's funny.
It's funny?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Good, because it's a real life story. I hope it's funny.
Yeah, that's funny. You should do a stand-up act, So I know they're hard, but
I'm planning on doing a one-man show.
Oh, good.
I talked to a few theater people over here. Last year, I took a free acting class, and I tried to get involved with the community theater. They're assholes over here in Reading.
Really?
Yeah. And I remember some of them that I was talking to, I was like, I want to do a one-man show, and I want to, start out here, and then, of course, go back to the Bay Area, go to LA, all these different places to do it. And they were like, I don't think your comedy will go over well because you're not politically correct, which is true. I'm not, but they were right, but I don't know. They're just assholes. And
yeah, but a lot of people are not politically correct, and they're, what was that guy? Oh God, he's in the. God, I can't remember. He plays Lady Gaga's father in A Star Is Born.
Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, he's not politically correct.
Nope.
And he's really successful.
Yeah, well, they have a tendency to say, okay, if you're already successful, you can be politically incorrect, but if you're not, you have to be like everybody else. It's like, fuck you,
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. You got to find your own voice.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find your own voice. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It doesn't matter if it's politically correct. It doesn't matter. Any of that doesn't matter. It just matters if it's your own voice. If it's authentic, if it's real, you will be a huge success. And that's the truth. It's when people start trying to do things to, I have to do this because I think that's what people like, or that's what's selling, or that's what's popular, or whatever. That's when you run into trouble, because then you just seem derivative. You don't seem unique.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to be to stand out. So I would say forget about being politically correct and, just concentrate on being authentic, and you'll be a huge success. I think that's what matters.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to focus on getting that one-man show done, no matter where I go. And just start,
because
happen.
It's going to take you probably months to, fix it and hone it and, chop it here or add this there and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you could talk about your life, that's interesting, where you've come from and what your situation is. And, it doesn't just, that's people like to hear that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So yeah, I think do you go see comedy a lot?
I haven't since I've been up here, but I used to go to clubs all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, because whenever anybody's here from out of town, they always want to go to the Improv. So I see people all the time there,
mm-hmm.
and some people that you would never in a million. Somebody who's really not politically correct. I can't remember her name. She's a huge success. She's Asian, and she's somebody Wang, and I can't, Ali Wang or something.
Oh,
she was
her and I came up. Her and I came up together in the Bay Area, and her and I do not get along.
Okay, but
yeah.
She is totally not. I don't know if she seems kind of not like she would be that nice as a person.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point is she's totally not politically correct.
No.
She's a success. So, I don't think you have to worry about that.
Yeah. I'm not worried.
My niece were like, oh, this lady's hilarious and all that. And, she was talking about, a lot of crazy stuff. And,
mm-hmm.
and
yeah.
I think she has some deal with HBO or something, so...
Yeah, over here, it's just it's a conservative Christian town, so I'm not worried about it.
Are you a Republican? Are you in a Republican area?
It's a Republican area. I'm not one myself,
okay.
But
Yeah, I'm not either. But you can talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm serious. Because people are yeah, you can talk about that, because people, especially being in a Republican area, because most people in comedy world,
mm-hmm.
they're not Republican. So, kind of seeing things through the lens of them is kind of interesting too, because, what's going on in this country now is crazy. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a political guy at all, but yeah, mm-hmm. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But just from the, from the standpoint of, I don't know, like, this is what my world is like. And okay, not about your politics, but about how people see things, to me, is interesting. Like, I might see something like one way, and one of my best friends who's hardcore Republican, she sees things completely different. And it's like, I go, are we even looking at the same thing? I mean, and so it's not even judging her or judging me. And it's just like, just how people look at things through their eyes and how, what they see and all that. But, I understand not wanting to do politics because it's such a hot subject right now and dicey, and you probably, the last thing you want to do is get involved with people throwing things at you because of one thing or the other you say. But
yeah. Oh, before I left the Bay Area, I did these Trump jokes on stage that got huge laughs, and everybody in the Bay Area is liberal, so they all weren't offended at all. But they like those, and I'm not even a political guy, but I had Trump jokes because everybody was doing them.
Right. Yeah, he's pretty easy to, make fun of, but it's, now it's getting, I don't even, like, I'm not a Trump fan at all, but I don't even make jokes about it because it seems kind of like things are getting too scary to go down that road. But yeah, but I'm just saying, I come from the South. I come from a conservative area, but I'm completely not. So I would be able to, find comedy in, like, how someone sees something. And also, I'm a white girl, and a lot of times people tell me stuff that's, like, totally racist. And at one point I had an Asian boyfriend, and people would say this horrible stuff about Asian men. And I would be sitting there thinking, like, should I tell this person I'm going out with an Asian guy or not? Because one time I did a job, and this girl was going on and on and on in the dressing room, and I was so tempted to bust her because I thought, what is she going to do if I tell her something? Because she just lathered on all day about, making fun of Asian men's size of penises and everything else. And it's like, so stuff like that, where people think you're something different than what you are just because of how you look. Yeah.
Like I saw a porno once where there was this Asian guy. He had a huge dick, and his name was Wadzilla.
Yeah, it doesn't, but that's the thing, is it's such a stupid stereotype, just like a stupid stereotype that, black people are uneducated, or a stupid stereotype of, these stupid stereotypes. It's, like, ridiculous. But this girl that was saying all this stuff was black.
Yeah.
And I was kind of in shock. Because me and my liberal friends, we would never even think of what color someone's skin is, and let's judge that person based on their skin. And here was this girl who was black, who probably, maybe was liberal, I have no idea, was going on and on and on with a dissertation into the size of, Asian genitalia, which I doubt she ever went out with one, because of the way she was talking about them was so horrible that I doubt she ever even went on a date. She just had made up this whole story in her brain of what she thought and why they were so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So do you have anything upcoming in acting you want to plug?
No, I just, we'll see how this, I'm hoping that I make the cut on the Hillary Swank movie, and it's with that guy that was shamed for having the job at Trader Joe's. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
Some black guy well, he got hired on this movie too, and, but that's it. I'm just doing my website for my jewelry stuff, and I'm still doing that. I'm still going back and forth to India for that, and, working on a lot of wedding rings and stuff, which is fun for me. And doing the acting and keeping busy. And, but, yeah, hopefully I can, what would be wonderful is to get some sort of a recurring or part on something where I could have a little more freedom with my other business, and I could spend more time on that, because it seems like I spend a lot trying to, pay my bills and all that stuff, as we all do.
Mm-hmm. I hope you get it too. That would be great to do that Hillary Swank movie.
Yeah, I did it. I did the movie, but it would be great if I make it in the final cut, because then I think one of my friends said you get good residuals, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's true. Or just, because it's one of my friends who is one of those people who probably, when he gets a residual for $100, he tells everybody it's $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if,
Yeah.
whatever. But anyway, so yeah, good luck with everything, and let me know if you want to, you should. I mean, have you thought about doing like a 3-minute stand-up and putting that on your podcast?
I've thought of along the lines of that. Who knows? I may. I don't know. But
Okay.
I've gone to the Bay Area 3 times this year, and I've done open mic all those times. So it's not like I haven't stayed away. It was hit and miss. It was just hit and miss. I auditioned for America's Got Talent for the 3rd time, and
oh wow,
I was sure hoping I was going to get it, and I didn't. But it's okay.
That's okay. You'll get something else. So
yeah. When are you going to India again?
I'm just waiting because I have to. Right now, my boyfriend's in China.
Mm-hmm.
Not Asian. And but he's in China and on a job, and I have 2 cats that are like my children.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting for him to come back, so then I can leave to go to India. So I think he's coming back sometime in December. So I probably will be there over the Christmas holiday. But it's kind of, right now it's high season, meaning everything is the most expensive. So it's not really the best time to go, but it might be my only time to go for a while. I need to go there, and I'm getting involved in a couple of sales here for like charities. Mm-hmm. And these women that have like ridiculous amounts of money, they like to buy things at these sales, but the things have to be very inexpensive. So I want to go back there and get some things for those sales, and also for my own website, so I can have some, good prices for people if they want to get gifts for people.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, a lot of my stuff I made is expensive because it's it's just like one-of-a-kind pieces and stuff, so I'd like to make some more accessible pieces. So I need to go back there for that, because American labor costs are so high that you can't make anything really inexpensive here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'll be in LA for that convention in April, and I'd like to meet up with you, if you're around.
Oh yeah, let me know. I'm going to I want to go in December.
Mm-hmm.
Try to go 2 times a year. We definitely check, because I don't know if April is like 5 months from that, so I don't know if that will be when I'll be going back. I don't know. But if I'm here, definitely 100%. Let's get together. What convention is it?
It's Monsterpalooza in Pasadena.
Oh, Monster. Oh, okay. Okay. So, we could have coffee or whatever I see at the convention, but that would be great. So,
yeah.
Okay. Well, great talking to you again.
You too.
I guess we'll talk. We're Facebook buddies, so we'll talk sooner than later.
Right. And I hope you have happy holidays, and you enjoy you enjoy your traveling. And
thank you.
This was awesome. I never thought in a million years I'd hear Jenny say "fuck."
That's funny. Well, okay. Well, I'll talk to you soon. happy holidays too, and good luck with everything. I think your jokes are hilarious, and they're all like completely on the right path. So.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay.
You're welcome. Take care. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Well, there you have it. Juliana Donald. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Juliana. Oh, my God. That was just an awesome podcast. I had no idea we were going to get so serious and so political about Hollywood, but I'm glad we fucking did. And I'm glad I fucking heard you say fuck. I heard Jenny and the Muppets Take Manhattan say fuck. I am the happiest fanboy in the whole wide world. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes!